Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today I'm gonna share with you my family recipe for tamales, okay? It is that time of the year. This is the one time throughout the year that we dedicate hours and hours to making like hundreds of tamales, but we're gonna make a small batch. I wanna share with you a low carb version. So you're gonna be able to enjoy the taste of traditional Mexican tamales, but these are gonna be low carb. So if you're on a weight loss journey, if you are living a low carb lifestyle, if you're even living a keto lifestyle, you're gonna be able to make a batch of these, okay? Now, these are also diabetic friendly. So if you have friends and family that are diabetic, then please share this recipe because this is one of those meals that people usually think they can't have, okay? So I'm gonna walk you through it. Now, typically, this is a pork recipe, but I feel like a lot of people don't actually eat pork. So we're like, I'm gonna make it with beef. So we are using some chuck. This is a chuck roast, okay? Got it from my local store. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, and everything else is gonna be the same, okay? Now, the masa recipe, that's where all the carbs are usually at. I'm gonna show you how to make it not only low carb, but this is gonna be a lighter version. I'm gonna kind of walk you through everything. I do have a pressure cooker right behind me. I have my pressure cooker. I was gonna make this stovetop, so if you don't have a pressure cooker, you can definitely make this stovetop. It's just gonna take a little longer, that's all. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the meat because that's what takes a little bit longer to make. So what we're gonna do is toss everything right in. So we have our meat. Okay, this is a really nice piece of meat. This was 1.5 pounds, just by the way. Okay, we have our onion going right in. And even if you don't like onion, the flavor, I feel like you don't wanna skip out on this because this actually flavors the meat a lot. Then we have our garlic. So we have the meat, the garlic, the onion. We're gonna do some salt. Okay. And we will now, I would say maybe like 3 cups of water. So there you have it. We have everything covered, submerged in water. And this is it. The pressure cooker makes things so much easier. It is so quick, but if you don't have one, you can just do it over. I would let it boil and then just kind of simmer it until the meat is falling apart. That's it. The chuck roast, the reason why I love using chuck meat is because it literally, it feels almost like butter. You just have to be really patient with it. If you try to eat it too soon, it's gonna be like a tougher meat. But the longer you let it cook, it softens. And I think it's just like the fibers. I don't know what it is. Any type of Mexican dish that requires like a tender meat, this is the one I use, okay? So this is it. We're gonna go ahead and put this. Okay, so I think it's probably for about 30 to 45 minutes. So meanwhile, that is gonna cook. We're gonna get started with our masa, okay? And I am gonna show you how to make the salsa. So this sauce is the most important thing. I mean, of course the masa because texture and everything, but what's gonna give it the flavor is this chili sauce, which we will make right now. I'm just gonna set this aside really quickly so that we can make the masa and make sure that we have that ready to go. All right, so we have the almond flour, cream cheese, a little chicken bouillon. That's kind of optional. I know some people are like anti-chicken bouillon. I was gonna do butter, but I know that lard is just gonna work out better for this recipe. So we're gonna do that. Getting our electrolytes in. Guys, I'm telling you, the cans, literally the best, because it's so convenient, you know what I mean? Like, and it has the fizz, which I absolutely love. These are the ones from Element. So I do the little packets if I'm on the way out and I want it in my tumbler and I do ice and you know what I mean? So I have like a big jug, but when I'm in a rush, I go for just a little can. It still has all the electrolytes that our body needs for the day. So it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and then 60 milligrams of magnesium, which is of course not only good for our electrolyte, just to replenish all of our electrolytes for the day, but it's also great for hormonal regulation for both men and women. So I just feel like it's a win-win. I will leave a link in the description below for you so that you can get a free sample pack with any order. Now the sample pack comes with 4 of their most popular flavors and you get 2 of each flavor. So I'll leave the link in the description below, or you can type in drinklmnt.com and then the little / low carb love. So either one of those will get you the free sample pack, okay? So moving on to our masa, we're gonna start off with our almond flour. And I'm making a huge batch because tamales go so quick. You have to make a really big batch. Like that's just, there is just no other way. So we have our almond flour. Now we are gonna go in with some baking powder. Okay, so baking powder, almond flour, and I'll leave everything linked in case you just want to place like one order for all the ingredients. I'll do like the corn husk, the almond flour, the baking powder. Those are kind of more of like the specialty ingredients. I mean, not that you don't have baking powder, but the lard, I will tell you, you can get it again at any Mexican store. I get mine from Ralph's, so just like my local Ralph's. I don't know if they would have it like at Pavilion. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but it shouldn't be too hard for you to find lard. If you want to use butter, because I looked it up, the butter, you would have to use clarified butter. So you'd have to cook it down to cook out all the milk solids. And then you could use butter, but it might change the texture of the tamales. So I would just say, go with the lard. It's just, I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's just more like you just know it'll turn out that way. So we have all of that. We are gonna add in a little bit of chicken bouillon for sabor. We need a little bit of sabor in here. And we are gonna do some salt. So now we're gonna give this a good mix. You just wanna make sure that the baking powder, the salt, just everything is well distributed throughout all of the almond flour, okay? Then we have our cream cheese, so we're gonna add that. And then we are going to add in our lard. All right, that's pretty good. All right, we're gonna start with this. And you are gonna just get in here with your hands. It's the easiest way to do it. And I'm gonna show you basically if you're making this with me, this is what you're gonna go through. Okay, so this is already looking really, really nice. Okay, it looks just like regular masa. I am gonna add a little bit of chicken stock, just so it's more spreadable. It's just gonna make life easier. It'll still turn out without it, but I just think this way it's gonna spread really nicely on the corn husks, which you do wanna make sure that they are soaking in some warm water. Sometimes the husks are like really tough, so the water will just kind of soften them up. Okay, so our masa is all done. Set that aside. Now for our chiles. So we're gonna need the chile guajillo, all listed in the description below. Make sure you check out the description. I'm gonna leave like any specialty ingredients that you can order either on Amazon or actually go find them at a Mexican store, because this is what is gonna give your tamales the flavor. So this is non-negotiable. You have to have these. If not, wait to make this recipe until you do have them, okay? Okay, so we have the chile guajillo, we have the chile pasilla, and then we have these right here that are called chile cascabel, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open all of these up. We're gonna take out all the seeds, which as you can tell is very easy. This is what it's gonna look like once it's de-seeded. Okay, so I'm gonna do that for all of these. And then we're gonna move over to the stove and make our salsa. Now we're just gonna put everything into our water. So we're basically just rehydrating all of the chilies, and we're gonna use this water to actually make the sauce. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let these rehydrate. It's gonna take about 5 minutes, and then we are going to blend it. So I'll kind of walk you through everything. Super, super easy. Basically just put your chilies into your water. You don't have to add salt. You don't have to add anything because we're gonna add that into the blender. Now for these chilies, you just wanna make sure that you don't leave them boiling for over 5 minutes. You just wanna make sure they are rehydrated. Then you wanna make sure that you get this color. It's a really nice deep color. This is exactly what we're looking for. The reason being is that they will turn bitter, and nobody wants a bitter salsa. So yeah, that's just really, really important. It's just like a really, really fast process. So you wanna make sure you're here at the stove, throw them in, let them rehydrate, and then pull them out. Okay, so now, and I don't have my big blender here, so we're gonna use this small one. It's okay, because it's all gonna get blended, and then it will all go into the meat. But I'm gonna try to do like 2 batches. I feel like that should be good. I don't wanna like over overfill it. And then we're also gonna do the garlic, which I have here. So we'll split it, okay, half and half. The chicken bouillon, I feel like, is a little more optional. Cumin is not. If you don't want to do chicken bouillon, then just do some salt. But you want to do, and don't worry, the recipe, everything is going to be linked in the description below. Guys, remember, everything is linked in the description, okay? I even have my weight loss guide in there. So if you are stuck, maybe you're just starting your weight loss journey, you hit a plateau, you don't know exactly what to do, and you're just like frustrated, or you know what I mean? You have a lot of questions when it comes to weight loss. I put together a weight loss guide. It's a step-by-step weight loss guide. It has breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts, about intermittent fasting, literally everything, including swaps and everything that you would need. So I will leave that linked in the description below. And again, if you have friends and family that are also maybe starting a weight loss journey or whatever the case is, please share that with them because it could be super, super helpful. But just remember that a lot of the products that I use, my meal plan, my ebooks, those are all linked in the description for you, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get this blended. We have our chilies, our garlic, our cumin, and our chicken bouillon. Remember, the chicken bouillon is optional. So this right here is literal like liquid gold. I am telling you, it smells good, it tastes good. You could literally put this on like tofu and it's gonna taste delicious. I'm telling you right now. This is like the magic sauce. This is the star of the show. You could put this over vegetables. You could put this over chicken. I mean, any type of protein and you're gonna love it. Okay, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest because this is my little blender that I'm working with. I'm gonna put it all together and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so we have our masa, we have our salsa made. Now, let's go ahead and bring this over. Ooh, this thing's hot. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is just shred it. And if you're making a lot of tamales or you want them to have just a ton of meat, then just use double the amount of meat. This is only 1.5 pounds. Okay, so what we're gonna do is add in our sauce. And this sauce, I'm gonna save it because we're gonna use this for other flavors. Okay, so we have our meat, we have our masa. Now we have our corn husks. Okay, so this is like our little station right here. So you're gonna grab your masa. Okay. And remember, this masa is low carb, so it is a little different than your traditional, masa, but it's going to work. It works just the same once you have it on here and it steams. And you don't want to go too high up and you want to leave some space at the bottom because this is going to fold up. Okay, then we're going to add our meat right in the center. Go ahead and fold it over and under. So that's it. This is how you make a tamal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off the meat and then I'll show you how we actually cook these. So these are steamed, and even if you don't have a steamer, you'll be able to cook these. You might need to find a few things in your kitchen, but you'll be able to make them. Okay, so we ended up getting a dozen tamales. So this recipe is gonna give you about 12 tamales, give or take. If you make them humongous, you might get 10. If you make them a little smaller, then you might get like an extra 2 or 3. Now, to cook them, you actually have to steam them. So usually my mom makes like this crazy olla, like this big, but she makes them for like the whole family. This is more of like, you know, this is a dozen tamales. And so we're gonna make it in a much smaller pot. Now I do have my little steamer that goes in here. Don't know where it's at right now. So I'm gonna show you in case you don't have a steamer, then you're gonna need a little bit of water. So I have probably about 1.5 inches of water in there. And I'm gonna use this little silicone dish or silicone baking pan and set it right on top. You could also do like a plate. That's of course like oven safe or something that can handle a lot of heat. You can also use like a colander, do that like upside down. You don't want the water to touch the tamales because they have to steam, okay? Not boil. So all we're gonna do is start to place them all in a little row. But this is what it's gonna look like. Look at this. Okay, so I might add a tiny bit of water here on the side, but this is just gonna steam. So what you do after this is, I feel like this one's gonna work a little better. So then what you do is you cover. You kind of put a little blanket over them, just like that. And this is gonna keep all the steam in there. This lid should be fine because I feel like the lid will hold everything, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna keep all the steam in there. But if you have like an older pan or anything like that, then you wanna for sure make sure that you put some towels like that. And like this, all the steam is just gonna stay right in place. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so we're gonna put it on the flame. So remember, this is going to steam. So we're actually gonna put it at a low heat. You just want it to simmer. It's gonna simmer for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. And then they're gonna be done. I'm so excited. This has taken, okay, we made a lot of all of this stuff, obviously from scratch. We made the masa, we made the salsa, we made the beef, all of that. So it's taken a long time, so tamales do take a while to make, but they're 1000% worth it. And if you're already making them, make a lot of them. You can freeze them, but when you freeze them, you have to freeze them before you cook them. So like basically once you wrap them, they would be going into the freezer right now. And then once you're ready to make them, whether it's for Christmas, a birthday celebration, just for dinner, you pull them out and then you just steam them like I'm about to do right now. And you have some fresh tamales within an hour. You know what I mean? So it's totally, totally worth it. I would highly, highly recommend you make like double or triple the batch because you're already gonna put the effort in, so might as well make them. You know what I mean? Might as well make a lot. So here we go. We're going to, and I'm gonna let the water start to boil a little, and right when it does, I'm gonna turn it down, simmer, and then we'll check back in about 45 minutes. All right, guys, so here we go. I already obviously took out the towels. The towels, we're done. I have 2 flavors in here, so we are going to, all right, so moment of truth. Okay, don't judge my wrapping, okay? But this is how you know, by the way. That is how you know when it is fully cooked, when it comes right off of the corn husk. And what we're going to do is top our tamal with some extra salsita, and we are going to cut right into it. And you already know I was not skimpy about the meat, so you know this is gonna have a good amount of meat right here. A little bit of everything. Look at that, some salsa. There you go. Cheers. I want to drink that. Like, wow. You know how I'm gonna eat this? With the fried egg on top. I don't know what it is about tamales, but I love to eat them with a fried egg. And I also like to put a little bit of oil on a pan and like crisp them up. Guys, that is literally the way. I know, judge me. Maybe you're like, Myra, what are you even talking about? I do that every single Christmas. I have to just make sure. I have to do one more bite just to make sure. The meat is tender. The masa is tender. Wow. It was worth it. It was worth it, guys. This has been, I'm telling you, this has been an all-day ordeal. I'm not gonna lie. It really has. But we did make 2 different flavors. We made the masa from scratch. We made the meat from scratch. Salsa from scratch. So everything from scratch. So it did take long. I'm not gonna lie. But we have the salsa. We are also making, I'm also making regular tamales, okay? I just always like to have a low carb batch. And of course I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share not only the beef recipe, because I think sometimes, you know, if people don't eat pork, then you know that it can be done with beef and it's super, super tender. Like right now, like it's like filet. It almost feels like filet mignon. You know what I mean? Like it's so, so tender. And I also made another version that was kind of like an easy hack, which I'm gonna share that video with you as well. I feel like it's more of, I don't wanna say it's a lazy version, but it's just different. It's different, and I made it and it was so delicious. So I cannot wait to share that with you as well. But this one right here is a straight 10 out of 10. You have to try this. Make it with beef, make it with pork, make it with chicken, make it with whatever protein you want. It's going to turn out it's gonna turn out delicious. And I'm telling you right now, this right here is the start of the show. This is gonna go into one of my containers, and we're gonna make another tamal recipe from that, probably some chilaquiles as well, because this is the same salsa that we use for chilaquiles. So anyway, guys, this was a total hit, totally worth it. I am so exhausted. I am ready to sit down, eat. I'm gonna make myself a little fried egg, enjoy my tamal, and then call it a night. Okay, so anyway, I hope you really enjoy this. I'm gonna leave everything linked in the description below. Make sure you always check out the description because I have everything linked for you there. If you are on a weight loss journey, you're stuck, maybe you hit a plateau, you haven't been seeing that scale move, you're like, Myra, I need your help. I have my weight loss guide, okay? It's a step-by-step guide with a meal plan. It has breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, snacks, everything in there. I put that together for you. It worked for me, it worked for my daughter, so I know it will work for you as well, okay? That will be linked in there. But guys, thank you so much for being here, sticking around with me through this recipe. Don't forget to share this with friends if they're friends or family. If they're diabetic or on a weight loss journey, this is something that they can eat and they will thank you for it. Okay, I'm telling you, it is so delicious. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.